our look at astrology, and we're going to be taking your calls this morning. Our number 241-1310 with your questions for Mary Michele, whether you have questions about your career or your health. And thanks for being with us today. How are you?
I'm fine. It's great to be here. I think what I was talking about last week with this Mercury retrograde might have a little bearing on what's been going on at the station here with a little communication snafus. A few problems here and there.
Well, we're doing our best.
I know. I think it's great. I mean, the thing about Mercury is he doesn't really hurt. He just kind of tricks you and makes it a little more difficult than you would normally like. But I think it's a good stretch for everybody. What do you think, Lori?
Mercury was certainly riding high over me today, that's for sure.
Well, I think you did a great job. I think it's wonderful that, he's given you this opportunity to really test your mettle.
Well, you're an optimist, and I thank you for your support. So tell us, what are your predictions for the week ahead for most of us? Will this trend with Mercury continue?
I'm afraid it will. You know, it goes on. It started the 22nd of September, and it goes until October 13th. So it's a bit of a stretch. As I was saying last week, what one has to think about with this with Mercury retrograde is that it's Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk. It's things going a little backwards, just things being a little complicated. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. I mean, it's something that you can take the time to...
Good morning. Your name is Kate?
Yes.
Are you on the air, Kate?
My birthday is March 5th, 1950, and I was wondering if this is a good time to invest with my partner. We have a design firm in business, in the business.
Okay, can you hear me?
Right now.
Can you hear me, Kate? Hello? Kate?
Yes?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, March 5th, 1950.
Yes.
Okay. You were born with the sun in Pisces, as you know, and the moon in Libra. When was it that you wanted to do this investing?
In probably the beginning of October. Within the next 2 weeks, we were going to go in and put some money into the business.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good time for you with the moon in Libra. You also have Mars in Libra, and you have Neptune in Libra. And as you know right now, the sun is in Libra. So it's a very good time for you to be using your creative possibilities. Venus rules the sign of money. So I think that it's probably a good time to go ahead and take this initiative action. In terms of actually signing the papers, though, if you could hold off, is that possible? Can you sort of commit yourself without actually putting your name on the dotted line?
Right. That's fine. We already have the business. It's a matter of putting the money into it.
Oh.
And my partner is a Libra. Is that good, I guess?
Yes, it's a good time. It's in terms of the person that's the Libra, and with you, that's a good combination for you. You're very supportive of this partner with the moon in Libra. Whenever there's a sun-moon conjunction like that in a relationship, it means that you instinctively understand what this person needs and wants and so on. So it's a very good partnership combination. And right now is a good time in terms of trying to have any creative potential, and money is about creativity as well.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much for calling.
Thanks.
Oh, Mary Michele, I have a question for you myself, a question about career and trends. I have a business trip coming up next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Can you tell me what's going to go on with that? Let me give you my birthday. It is August 22nd, 1967.
1967.
1967, August 22nd. And what's going on with me for the week ahead?
I'm sorry, it's August, what was it again?
August 22nd.
22nd.
I'm a cusper for the Leos.
Well, that year you actually are very definitely in the sign of Leo. It's a 2 or 3 day change period from year to year, but that year the sun didn't move into the sign of Virgo until the 24th. So you're very definitely in the sign of Leo. You have the moon in Pisces, Mercury in Leo, Venus in Virgo, Mars in Scorpio. You should have a lot of energy right now. I mean, this is a good time for you in terms of having to take the reins here, because Mars in its own sign it means you have the energy to be able to do this.
But how are the conditions looking for me next week? Am I in ideal conditions to be making a trip? And what do you see being the trend for, the future? Will this be leading to more, or?
Well, with the sun in the sign of Libra, which is an air sign, it is very complementary with the sun in Leo. So it is a good time for you to take these initiatives and to try something new. The moon in Pisces, you might actually, feel more comfortable with it around the end of October, the beginning of November. But I would certainly make this trip now, and I would look to see if it would be something that you could actually bring to fruition in the end of November. What is the trip about?
It's, business trip, appearances, making an appearance,
Is it related to something else, though? Is this trip?
It's related to fitness products, and some other work that I do.
Right, but is it related to something that it might happen in the future? Are you hoping that this is going to bring forth something?
Well, it would be a long-term commitment to make to this fitness product.
Mm-hmm.
So it could turn out to be more appearances, February, March next year. So it could turn out to be a long-term gig, so to speak.
Is there anything in the end of November?
Not as of yet. Thanksgiving?
Yes, that's a very, very good time for you.
The holidays will be a good time for me?
Yeah.
Well, that's a blessing.
I think potentially work-wise. I think it's more about, there might be some unforeseen thing that you might actually have to come up with, some kind of job, even though I know the holidays are important, right around the holidays, or right after Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You're listening to WVIP 1310 AM. It's 9:14. We're taking your calls now for your astrological predictions at 1310, 241-1310. That number again, 241-1310. Stay with us. We'll be right back with you after this short break.
It's the Northeast's largest ever billiard and pool table sale at Leisure Unlimited, 101 Central Avenue in Hartsdale. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you'll find hundreds of name-brand pool tables and game tables at unheard-of low prices. Instant financing is available with approved credit. Brand new tables at unbelievably low prices. Hundreds of billiard tables, pool tables, and game tables all on display and available for immediate delivery at Leisure Unlimited, 101 Central Avenue in Hartsdale. If ever you thought, or are now thinking, or might think of buying a pool table, don't miss this opportunity at Leisure Unlimited. We're located at 101 Central Avenue in Hartsdale. There are road signs to show you the way. Don't miss New York's largest billiard table sale ever, this Friday, September 29th through Sunday, October 1st at Leisure Unlimited, 101 Central Avenue in Hartsdale.
We're back, WVIP 1310 AM. We're here with Mary Michele. She does our astrological predictions. If you'd like to talk to her this morning, our number here is 241-1310. We have a caller on the line. Lauren, are you there? Hello, Lauren?
I'm here.
You're there, Lauren?
Hello.
Yes, could you speak up a little bit? Do you have a question for Mary Michele this morning?
Morning.
Morning.
I wanted to know what the fall and winter season would be like this year.
Could you give me your year and date of birth?
Her birthday is September 22nd, 1944. 1944, September 22nd.
Okay, September 22nd. You have the sun in Libra, as I'm sure you know, and you have the moon in Sagittarius. You have Mercury in Virgo, Venus in Libra, Mars in Libra. You have a lot of Libra planets, so things should be should be a lot of movement for you right now, particularly in the area of money and concerns having to do with money. Was your question about career?
Yes.
I can't hear you terribly well.
I'm trying to talk loud.
Thank you. Okay, and you wanted to know, was it something specific about the next couple of months, or is it,
things have been closed for me. I want to know if they're opening.
if they're opening?
Lauren, I'm just going to ask you, if you have your TV or radio on, could you turn down the volume? That'll help Mary Michele to hear you a little better.
TV? Wait, hold on.
Okay. Let's see. Well, you know, I think with this Sun-Moon square, it's been a slightly dissatisfactory time. The moon, you know, is our unconscious. I think that in terms of, you know, you have to keep, Virgo is it's a sign that's very analytical. It's a sign that is able to keep, you know, digging at things and trying to understand things and coming to some kind of very persistent, you know, working and going about things very gradually and, you know, just sticking with it. I think that it's going to be difficult for you to feel satisfied with the way that you're, you know, this opening door that you're talking about. I think the door is going to feel like you're trying to push it open, probably until the end of November. This is not necessarily a bad thing. I think what you have to think about is that, you know, whenever we struggle really hard for something, at the end of the day, that's when we have the greatest joy, because we work so hard at trying to make it right for ourselves. And I know that with all these planets in Libra, that if you can just give yourself a little bit of a break, if you can allow yourself some joy with it. Do you have something that you enjoy, a leisure activity? Riding. That's very good. And I think it's a good time of year for this. I mean, is this not something that you could be doing on kind of a regular basis right now?
My feeling is that I should be playing and not trying to stress myself out with things that aren't going to happen.
I think that's a very, very, very good feeling. But I think you are going to be putting pressure on yourself to do that for a little bit more time. And when you are not trying to analyze it and trying to figure it out, which I think you must do, it's an important thing, you have to give yourself as much leisure time as you possibly can and spend time with the horses.
Right.
I'm sorry?
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks for calling, Lauren. We have another call on the line. If you'll give me a second, I'll pull that up. Hello, Jennifer. Are you there? Jennifer? Jennifer? Are you there, Jennifer?
Yes, I am.
Hi. How are you today?
Hi, Mary Michele.
Hi, Jennifer. What was your year and date of birth?
I can't really hear you.
Lower your radio or your TV.
We're all having this problem. Okay.
Okay.
Her year and date is 1972, November 2nd.
Okay, 1972.
I'll urge any of listeners who are calling in, if you do get through on the lines, we have an open line now, 241-1310. Please be sure to lower your television or radio. That'll help Mary Michele hear you better, and you'll be able to hear better.
Okay, Jennifer, you have the sun in Scorpio, as I'm sure you know, and the moon in Virgo.
Okay.
This is a very harmonious angle. Your moon works very well. It supports your sun. You have Mercury in Sagittarius, Venus in Libra, Mars in Libra, Jupiter in Capricorn. Well, I'm sorry, did you ask me what was there a specific question?
Well, I just graduated from college, so I'm kind of in limbo as to what to do.
You're in college now?
No, I just graduated.
You just graduated. And did you have a particular a major or something that you were interested in?
It was fashion merchandising. Fashion merchandising and design.
Uh-huh. Well, certainly with this Venus-Mars conjunction in Libra and Uranus and Pluto, you know, I would think there would have been some job opportunities in the last week or so.
Well, actually, there have been.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think I'm real. I mean, it's at such a bottom level that I'm not ready for that. I think I'm more qualified for something a little higher. I mean, how does that look? I mean, more entry level, not exactly bottom of the barrel.
Right. Well, I think in one way your instincts are good to hold off. You know, I think, again, with this Mercury retrograde, and it's in the sign of Libra, it's probably a good time to give yourself some, you know, to really think about it. But I would say as of the 13th of October, you should make a decision. And even if it's at a very menial level, I don't think you'll stay there very long.
Okay.
I think your abilities would rise, the cream would rise to the top here, and you would definitely be given an opportunity very quickly to move on.
Right.
Coupled with the fact that the sign of Scorpio is going to have a little bit of a boost, when the planet Pluto that rules it moves into the sign of Sagittarius, which is at the end of November.
Oh, at the end of November it is?
Right.
Okay.
Well, let me just make sure of that. Pluto, actually, it's the 10th of November.
Okay.
So, the last 12 years have been a little bit of a difficult time for the sign of Scorpio, and Scorpio is a sign that, is constantly dying to be reborn and transforming itself and so on. And, with Pluto, its own planet in the sign of Scorpio, it's been a very, very tough time for Scorpios. But it's going to get a whole lot better. So I would say that if you take this job, like at the end, or after the 13th of October, by a month later, by the 10th of November, you will either have another opportunity or you will be moved up in that same position.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much for calling.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thanks for calling, and we have another caller on the line. I'm going to take a second here to pull that up. Hello, are you there, Leo? Hold on 1 second, and we'll get you on. Leo, you there? Leo? Leo? Can you hear me, Leo?
Hello?
Yes, hi, Leo. How are you? He's calling from New York. His birthday is 1960, October 18th. August 18th, I'm sorry, 1960, August 18th. And Leo, what is your question for Mary Michele today?
Good morning.
Hello. I really can't hear you so well on the phone, but I had two questions to ask you, actually. One is, I want to ask you about the nature of palmistry. And palmistry, as you know, follows the rules of astrology and somewhat. And I can't really remember, but is there a retrograde in palmistry? What I mean is that the thumb and the finger and all points to the various planets that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm understanding that the lines do change from time to time, and I'm wondering if you had heard anything about
I actually haven't, but I think that, in your hand, the lines of your hand, from my, somewhat limited knowledge of it, if there is something momentous that happens during a retrograde period, it will show up on the lines in your hand. Again, it might be a line that would disappear then again later, because the nature of retrograde is that it comes back and moves on. So one might discover a new line at that time. I'm making these associations. I'm not exactly sure. I've never read anything about it, but I would imagine that would be the kind of thing that would happen.
Well, thank you. The other question I had is now that things are in retrograde, I know probably you've heard this question so many times, but it's about the end of this O.J. Simpson trial. Now, should his trial be over before the retrograde? Are we going to have to see this again, or are we going to see this again with somebody else, or what does this mean on a large scale, retrograde?
Well, I think
is it epicycle, or I don't know, it's just a question.
Right. Well, the nature of what happened, the O.J., the actual crime was committed when Mercury is retrograde, and it's coming to a head. It's coming to its conclusion now again when Mercury is retrograde. So I think that it's not so much about. I don't think we'll have to listen to the nature of the trial so much anymore, but it is going to take us some time to digest exactly all of the things that have transpired, how this has affected us. My analogy with O.J. has been what I keep thinking of all the time is the play of Othello, and the passion and the rage and the purity in some ways of Othello. And I think that there are feelings about O.J. in this same direction. I mean, even though he has made a lot of other mistakes in his career, and there have been some feelings at times that he didn't live up to his idea of being a hero, I think that the nature of heroes today is something that is very difficult to sustain. I think when heroes were in the Greek and Roman times, or even before Western recorded history, the nature of hero was something that could be kind of a concept. It could be, usually when they would write about somebody, either it was a person that was already dead, or it was some, mythological character that was created out of their imagination and their unconscious. And today, what we do with our heroes is that we have to analyze every detail, and we try to basically pull them apart. So the nature of being a hero is a very, very difficult thing in today's world.
Oh, we want to thank Leo for calling. We do have other people on the line, so we're going to have to move on to another call. Thanks, Leo.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. And we have Kathy on the line now. Let me bring Kathy up. Kathy, are you there?
Yes.
Kathy? Hi, how are you? Kathy's born in 1944, January 14th. What's your question for Mary Michele, Kathy?
It's a personal question. I saw something very big. I wanted to know if it will come back to me.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I can hardly hear you.
I know we're having trouble. I'm very sorry. If you don't mind repeating it, it would be helpful.
It's a personal question. I lost something very dear to me, and I wanted to know if I could get it back.
You lost something.
Yes.
January 14th, 1944.
Kathy, if you have your radio volume or your TV volume turned up, if you could turn it down, we'd really appreciate it.
Okay, the Sun in Capricorn, the Moon in Virgo, Mercury in Capricorn, Venus in Sagittarius. Is this a small object?
Yes, it is.
Is it something that was given to you by someone that meant
Yes,
that?
it was given to me.
Yeah. I think your concern about this is a very valid one. But I think that in terms of worrying about it, that now is not a very good time for you to I can't give a clear answer. I think the odds are within the next 10 days the situation will be resolved. Either you will find out conclusively whether it is something that you're going to get back or you're not going to get back. And then the emotional feelings that are tied to that will have some clarity as well. I think either way, it's going to be a little painful. Whether you retrieve the object or whether you don't, your feelings attached to, why it disappeared or who took it, there might be a little, it's going to be a difficult thing for you to resolve.
Thank you for calling, Kathy, and we wish you a lot of luck in finding your lost item. And we're going to take a quick break right now. If you're on hold, we want to tell you to hold on. That's Margie and David on the line, and we're going to get back to them right after these messages. You're watching WVIP.
It's 4 a.m. You've got insomnia, and the only thing you can find to read is your car insurance bill. Suddenly you wonder, why am I paying so much? I need to talk to my agent immediately. Unfortunately, your agent's comatose at this hour, so you wait until the sun comes up, only to find that he's at a convention in Bora Bora, and the assistant who could help you just got his tie caught in the fax machine. There is a better way. Just call Geico. Our insurance professionals are ready to help anytime, before breakfast, after dinner, and in between snacks. That's the beauty of Geico's complete 24-hour service. And with one 15-minute call, you could cut your car insurance rates by 15% or more. We'll even give you a line-by-line comparison with your current policy so you can see the savings. Call Geico at 1-800-841-3000. Sure, you won't get any postcards from Bora Bora, but with the money you save, maybe you'll bump into your old agent on the beach. That's 1-800-841-3000. Geico, the sensible alternative.
This is the one and only WVIP. Only WVIP has both radio and television stations. WVIP 1310 on your AM dial with more power than any other local radio station. And WVIP TV, Cablevision Channel 12, from Armonk to Mount Kisco, Bedford Village, Bedford Hills, Katona, Somers, Yorktown, and Putnam Valley. And United Video Channel 15 in Pound Ridge, Lewisboro, and North Salem. The one and only WVIP AM and WVIP TV.
Get ready, Mount Kisco. TJ Maxx Grand Opening Day is coming Sunday, October 1st. An exciting new store filled with designer and brand name fashions for your family and home. You'll find fabulous career and casual wear for women and men and great fashions for kids. Plus, there's a tremendous selection of terrific items for your home, including domestics, fine crystal, gourmet cookware, and giftware. You'll also find 14-karat gold and sterling silver jewelry, fantastic fashion accessories, women's footwear, and more. Best of all, TJ Maxx has the same brands you find in department stores, only for much, much less than department store prices every day. And each week, there are thousands of exciting new fashions to choose from. It's truly an event you won't want to miss. Sunday, October 1st, the TJ Maxx Grand Opening on Main Street and Bolton Street in Mount Kisco.
And don't miss the TJ Maxx Grand Opening in Mount Kisco this Sunday, doors opening at 12 noon.
1310 a.m. WVIP. Lori Blanchard in with Mary Michele with your astrological projections. And if you have questions or you need to know about your future, give her a call, 241-1310. We have a couple phone lines open now. And in the meantime, we have Kathy on the line. Kathy, can you hear me?
Barely.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Hi.
Kathy, what is your question for Mary Michele? I'll give her your
If I could
birthday.
have the year and date of birth first, that would help.
1957?
I hear you. It's September 17th, 1957.
Okay. Okay. Was there a particular question, something that you wanted to ask?
Debating whether I should go back to school or start a new job. I was just wondering what you saw. Or if we were going to be moving. There seems to be something that's happening. I'm not sure what yet, so I feel like I'm on the verge of something.
Are you married?
I can't hear you.
Are you married?
Yes, I am. I'm lip reading, actually. I can't hear a word you're saying.
I don't know what's happening. It's hard for me to hear you, too, but I thank you for your patience. Okay, so you are married, and what is your husband's birthday?
1/1857.
Okay.
Kathy, could you turn down your radio or TV?
If I turn it down, I won't be able to hear you at all.
Okay.
Okay, well, you have the sun in Virgo, as you know. You have the moon in the 17th, Cancer. This is a harmonious angle. The Mercury in Virgo, Venus in Scorpio, Mars in Virgo. You have a lot of Virgo planets here, and quite a few in Scorpio. I would say that probably, your deepest urge is to have children.
All right, I already have 2.
Oh, you already have 2?
Yes.
Okay. That, in terms of your work, I think, you're very good at doing any kind of detail work with all these planets in Virgo and in Scorpio. You're also good at research. Anytime, you have to research a paper or try to really find out what's going on, in an office kind of situation, or working with computers. You would be very good at working with computers. Do you do that?
No, actually, I've been in the creative field.
Oh, well, computers can be creative. What kind of what is the nature of your creative field?
I was a film producer. I'm turning to writing right now.
Okay, well, the writing, this is where the being good with the computers would come in. Certainly with Virgo, you have the ability to handle details very well, and with the Scorpio, you would be very good at researching a project. Are you interested in historical figures?
No, actually, I was thinking of going back for a master's in art.
Uh-huh. What kind of art?
Studio art, maybe painting.
Well, I think that anything that you set your mind to, you would be good at. But I would imagine that you're probably going to change your mind again by the end of November. Your husband is in a rebuilding process right now. He, as of 2 years ago in 1993, was probably not experiencing a very good time, but he has been rebuilding. And within the next 3 years, I would think that he's going to have a lot of very good feedback. Things will come his way, and he will restructure